Welcome to SwitchNTrap. This presentation is made for version 1 of SwitchNTrap. More features will be added in the future, but SwitchNTrap is already very powerful and it can speed up your game development process. So before we jump to the demo scene of SwitchNTrap, let me explain what this system is used for. SwitchNTrap is compact state-based controlling system which can be used to manipulate game objects in your scene. You can create easily traps, elevators, you can move doors, do different kind of things without coding yourself, just with configuring the provided scripts. If you want to code, you can anytime create your own scripts by using provided interfaces. You can combine them with other SwitchNTrap scripts. It's pretty easily done. So on the right side, for example, you see one of the main scripts, the main switch controller. This one is used to move things from one point to other. You can also rotate things. You can rotate over 360 degrees. You can rotate to any degree in any direction without limits. You can change the speed on the progress. You can easily create swinging objects. You can drag and drop your sounds. You can create preconditions when some objects can be activated or not. But let me explain, show you further demo scene before we jump to explanation of the scripts. And before we jump to demo scene, let me show you also the gizmos. When you create scripts, you can use provided functionality to show you the connections of your objects. When you click on some object which has one of the scripts, you can see the configuration of things. You can also show disable labels if you don't want them. In the hierarchy window, you see automatically small icons of attached scripts. It's lazy loading, very lazy loading, cat lazy loading. So it won't lag your editor when working with the system. The gizmos will show you the configuration of your script in the scene window. You can also deactivate any helpers here. So let's jump to the demo scene. It provides you different kinds of examples which you can also use in your game. SwitchNTrap provides you as well different PRB 3D models which you can use in your game, especially traps, and a generator for a lever. So let's start. So when I step on this platform, it changes its state from activating to activated, and then after it reaches destination, it triggers the other objects, as you can see here. When I move out, it gets back to the previous state. Also, I can move the lever here, it will do the same. This is just a sandbox playing around. these objects here, there is a collider and two coordinates, starting coordinate for deactivated, and then when the player moves to it, it gets to activate from deactivate to activated and moves the blocked up, for example, my cat. Yeah. So, welcome. A lot of things here. We'll add more things later. So here in the demo scene, you can move around, explore. Maybe you can find some things which you can just take and use in your game. Here you see vanilla, just two boxes which are representing some button on the ground. It's just to show you that you can use the scripts with any object. The ball here representing the state. There is another script which changes the materials when some state is set. You can activate things, deactivate. For example, the lever is going down, then when it's down, it's in the list there are two objects connected which are moved. This ball and this gear here is rotating, and the ball, when it's done, it's calling another script which changes the material. You have different kinds of configurations here, different kinds of traps, reversing. You have also provided some ground platforms, buttons, which you can use in your game. If I turn out the light, you can see that there are emission on a lot of objects. For example, this one and this one are working as stickers. You can put them on any button here, on any ground platform. So let's go from right to left. On the right side, you see some spike traps. There are different kinds of the spike traps. For example, with blood and without blood, black one, and yeah, normal metal. You have also some bloody lure. If you want to create some horror game, you don't need to, but you can. Yeah. You see here the usage of the main switch controller script. The difference here, I need to stay on the ground platform to make it rotate, and here I'm just toggling it. You can use it as example for your game. Here we have some brackets for the ground, which you can combine to create some traps. Here are some more souls. Normal, bloody one. All scripts are provided. You can just look in the configuration and use your own configuration in your game, how you like it. It's pretty easily to use. So there are 4 states: deactivated, deactivating, activating, and activated. So probably objects, in most cases, most scripts are doing nothing on deactivated. And for example, the main switch controller, if I want to move something, it has coordinate for deactivated and activated. So when it's deactivated and I change the state of it to activating, it changes the location to activate it. And just for example, so everything works with the 4 states. Yeah. So just move around and look at the demo scene yourself. I'm sure you will find something interesting for your game. This one, the last one, is not using the main switch controller script, but the node walker. Node walker is a script which can make objects move between a lot of nodes. Nodes are positions, so you can create objects which are moving around a lot of different positions. I'll explain it later. Yeah, these are using Node Walker as well. It's just a sandbox. You can create yourself for sure amazing things. They are moving when I'm not on the button. So let's go back to the other side. As I said, you have different prefabs here and different 3D models which you can use in your game. Here is also a lever generator. You can step on these buttons here, these buttons, and it will change the material with one of the scripts, switch controller scripts, on the lever in the middle. So you can create your custom lever prefab for your game. As you see, there are different types of gears, levers, and the mech box. The materials are PRB materials, so they don't have a lot of poly count. All the details are made with the textures themselves. So they are not using higher polygon count. This why if you want to use the models on mobile game, it will be not a problem, but you need probably adjust the materials. To remove some details if you have some legs. So when you generate here some lever, you can just open the scene and drag and drop it in your asset folder. Yeah. Here we have some demo scene which is using a collider. It's working similar to these platforms, but also includes button import event and some manipulation of the text of the UI. You can open it and look how it works to create your own button pressing script. But here we'll use it to explain some features of SwitchNTrap system. For example, this one was normal trigger. We can activate it, deactivate it. The next one is only once triggable. I cannot press X, it's doing nothing. This one will jump back to the prior state and only then will send the new state to the ball behind. This one is deactivating the red box. This one shows how different objects can be used in chain. What is this gear doing here? I have no idea. This one. Okay. Then combinations. For example, you want a game when you want to trigger something only when first one trigger lever and the last lever are activated. And to get deactivated again, you want them to be in opposite. Here we have example by using combination proxy script, which included. If you want just one of them to be falsy, to set the status the ball to the deactivated, you can look at this example. It's the same as before, but before we needed really deactivate, activate, deactivate it to let it be red, and here we need just one false. Behind we have the same examples, but without using this kind of combination proxy scripts, but with preconditions. You can look at the documentation. It's explaining everything. It's the same. So you can see the combination proxy can be used with your own scripts. If you want to create your own switch control scripts, this script is easily to understand. And the combination proxy is the default way using main switch controller and node walker. If you want to make a game where you can only trigger something if other things are triggered. For example, if I'm triggering this switch, this lever is used to move the ball in the middle. But I cannot, because it's only possible if this one and this one is activated, then I can trigger it. I'll show you. It's like a key or lock. Now if I move, happens nothing. So these two need to be activated, or this one is something like master key. If this one is activated, you can move it as well. Doesn't matter on other configurations. These are preconditions as well. Okay, this was the main switch controller, and now I will show you first the node walker. As I explained before, you can use it to move between different points. You see different configurations. The first ball was not looking at the direction. This one is looking at the direction. The next one is even rotating into the direction. This one is activated already. I can toggle it. And why not add some effects? For example, you see it's glowing in the dark. If I press the button changes the color, the ball changes the color. So it's made using the switch controller, not Walker. Oh, okay. This one don't wants me to play with it. So you can look at the examples to create your own things. For example, there are 4 nodes for this one, and if one node is reached, it can activate this box here, and the box gets up on activating, and when it moves, it gets down again. So you can manipulate other switch controllers by reaching nodes. Here you can. This one is waiting on the node 1 and 3. This one I don't remember. Okay, it's waiting more time. You can create complex things like this one. Here is everything used, even preconditions. I cannot press on other buttons. Only if it's allowed to. Yeah, and then from beginning. You can also use a node walker to create elevators. This one is just moving around and then waits on the node 0. This one moves only if I stay on it, and if I jump down, it will go to node 0 and stay there again. You have here spike balls, normal one with blood. Few of them are emissive. They're glowing at dark. Yeah. Here we have more node walkers examples. For example, ball is moving back to previous node. If we are putting deactivated, this one is going to other. This one is going teleporting to given node, and so on. Here we have some axe traps. Examples, different materials. You see they are swinging and the speed is changing depending on progress. There are a lot of interesting things, but before we go there, I will show you first something else. For example, this elevator. It reminds me of one of my favorite games. I cannot activate it again because it's staying on this level. I can only activate it if this lever here, if the elevator is on the top. I'll press on the button. It moves. Here we have some examples for elevators. Let me zoom out. Ah, this is a trap. I need to wait first. The first three are using switch controller. This three are using node walker. As you can see, they are moving on themselves around, and first one is using node walker as well, I think. So you have here different examples which you can use in your game. Yeah. Play around, find something. Like this one, maybe. The demo character controller is not the best one. Created them to show the things here off, but probably can be better. Here is a platform. I need to hit this with this spike ball here. If I use a main switch controller and I use same coordinates for activated and deactivated, the objects will instead be teleported to this coordinate, and this can I can use it to reset the ball. For example, here. Now I need to hit this platform. Okay, I did. Now look, there is some platform moving here right now. This one is difficult example of using only main switch controller. This task can be and without preconditions. It's just vanilla, just combining different objects together without preconditions, and still you are able to create complex things like this one. There are a lot of ways to get the same to create the same outcome, but there are many ways to get there. You need to play around with the scripts, with the configurations. You will be able to create amazing things. It's very a lot of fun. Now if I go back, I step on the button here, the button starts to move the main object after the doors are closed and so on. In later versions I will add some mini dungeon here to show you how you can use traps in interesting way. So we are back. And now we go to the best part. Very nice traps there. Oh, welcome back to Mr. Gray's torture chamber. I have written so far 40 pages of documentation. You can look at the demo scene and at the documentation if you want to find out how things are working. It's pretty easy. These are examples how to use the swing loop. Swing loop is function for rotation. it goes from, we have a deactivated position right now, then we step on, we go to activate position, and then we go to the third position and back to activated without limit in looping, and it creates, as long as it's activated, this loop here. It swings. You can also change the speed depending on rotation, on time, or progress, or even modular progress. The models are modular, so you can combine them, like the spike ball here with the swing X trap. Also the materials, you can, some of the prefabs has two materials. Here's example with one material, this one. This everything is just using one material, so can be used on mobile. And here we have example which two materials are combined, one with the leaves here, with the plants. Same goes for blood. I will add in the future more models, more configuration. I just need to start somewhere, so that's why I will stick to this variation right now. For example, here circular souls can be used here as well if you want to. Just use your fantasy. And this is some crazy example with yeah, a lot of axes rotating around. And this one is rotating 10 times if I remember right, and jumps back. Oh, it didn't hit me. Fake wall, and then we have this thing here. Spike barrel trap. We can deactivate it again if we want to, and then activate. You see it's deactivated and starts to rotate again. It's trying to stick me in the middle. We have here different variations as well. PRB. This one is just a simple mesh, but with the PRB textures, you see illusion here of the light, with help of the light, with the holes here. So you have here wooden barrel traps, metal one, they don't have much tries. The effect is made with the textures. You can combine the traps as well here, as you saw before. Maybe another direction. And we have these things here. A bit strawberry here. Yeah, it's a drill. Use it for whatever you want it to be used. Here I have, for example, combined it with axe trap, which is using barrel trap and has drills on corners. why not add extra rotation on movement? Yeah. Yeah, save your teeth. Here you see the objects together with the brackets here, which are holding them. Yeah, and welcome, finally welcome to the car wash. Here's the different combination of main switch controls, controller and node walker and sub-switch controller, which is permanently rotating things. You just copy it and use in your game, but please don't manipulate prefabs which are used in demo scene. Make copy of them, or you can destroy the demo scene if you change something inside the here used prefabs. Make always a copy. Yeah. You see, I'm just reusing other things like the gear from the lever here, because all things are modular, you can reuse them. You can add your own sounds pretty easily. Yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed the presentation of the demo. I could have shown you a lot of more things, but just open the demo scene, and yeah, if you get the script, you can look at the things yourself. I spent a lot of time, and my main goal was to create something which can make other people happy. You can see again here the lever generator. And in the end, I will make short explanation how things are working. But this video very short. You can look at the documentation. Here, for example, if I step on the buttons here, you see here this game object. If I step on the buttons, the materials will be changed, and you can just drag it somewhere in the asset folder, and then your custom lever will be created. Then the main switch controller script, I will make as a video to explain everything. So basically, for example, here, just fast explanation. We have here the platform. In the platform, there is object. You see here the cat head with green border. This is script. This is a state setter. This one is, for example, is based on collisions. Depending on, you need to set here the layer on which to collide. On the demo scene, I don't have many options, so you can create your own layer here, and then depending on which layer, on which action or event occurred, you can set state on given here object, and this object has one of the switch controller scripts. So if we stay here, we are sending, activating to this object, and you see red hat is a main switch controller. This one is this red platform. This script has the object trigger. Trigger is this one. So when we collide with the object which had the kitty head here, the green one, it sends to this script, activating, and then on activating we have here options to add different action targets which we want to move, to rotate, or do things with them. And when they are finished, when they are moving from this one, this deactivated, this is default state for a button, and it moves down. So when I'm colliding with this one object, it sends to this one to move down. And if it's on the position, local position, on this one, when it's finished, it sets own script state from deactivated to activated before it's activating. So when you step in, it's activating, then it's moves down, then it's activated. And when it's activated, we have here sub-switch controllers. These are other game objects which has also, for example, this script or not Walker or other switch controller. And we can create chains. So example, this one sets on this object here, which has also one script. Any state is required. We can here say it only sets the state if this own state is activated or deactivated. Here we are just transferring state. So if we are in activated, when we step, we are sending to this object, to this one, activating. But we can toggle, we can activate, deactivate. We have a lot of different options. Also advanced settings here, delay in seconds. We can delay some change of other state of other object. So when we step on the platform, on this one, on this green kitty here, it sends the state activating to this one, and this one moves the red button down, changing its own state to activating. When it's down, when it moves to this location, automatically, as long as we are staying on it, it sets the own state to activated, and tries to change the state of this script to activating as well, because it's in transfer. When we go here, sorry, we see here the ball. It's in this position, and it changes to activated, so it goes up. And when it's done, we have here sub-switch controller list again, other scripts which implements iSwitch control interface. We have a script show on the object show dummy, but the show dummy object, you see the kitty is white, it's not red one. This is one of the custom switch controller scripts. This one is switching materials. You can give here for activated or deactivated state materials, and it will, depending on them, switch automatically. You can also change the slot for if you have, for example, multiple materials or multiple slots. Yeah. And yeah. I will stop. So you see, the most things you can really easily see when you press on the objects in the edit mode. The labels, you need to press F button to focus on objects to read more easy the labels, but in most cases you don't need them. So you can deactivate them, or you can here in the tools deactivate them completely. Everything here, colors, or here the gizmos and the hierarchy icons if you don't want them. So the main script is a main switch controller. So the state setter, the preconditions you can see here, for example. On this one, on this object. Yeah. This is main switch control as well. Then we can look fast at the swing loop. This is, for example, one object which is swinging between 3 coordinates: activated coordinate, deactivated, and different speed flow. Speed flow goes from 0 to 1. This is lifetime, and here is the speed increase. So on beginning is only half fast, and in the middle is it has 100% speed, and then is half fast as well on the end. And this speed is used for calculation. But we have a swing loop. This is a third coordinate and has different speed as well. We have a sound for loop. Then let us look fast at the node walker. So here we have a node walker. You see the nodes on which we are walking. We can see them in the gizmos. If, for example, go somewhere with more nodes, for example, this one is moving to the right, then goes up, then goes to the node 3, then 4, and the green one means that they are looping. You can disable the loop as well if you don't want it, if you want it to be executed one time. So let's go to this one again. So you have always the start state, you have the current state. You can put to sleep objects. So if they are far away or something, you don't want to use them, you can deactivate them. You can use, you can read some properties which you can reuse somewhere if you want to. For example, how much it was triggered. You have here as well, subswitch controllers which you want to trigger if on state is changed, the same as in the previous script in the main switch controller. But you have here this is main switch control. Okay, never mind. I wanted to go to node walker, this one. You see they are connected. If I press here, it automatically draws here gizmos for the node for different kinds of script here. So now we are on the node walker. It's similar to the main switch control, but it moves between different coordinates. You can go forward, backward. You can make it to face direction which you are moving. I will add soon more configurations to add more control over rotations. Show the rope on activating. Just as said, you see. Then on deactivating, it will stop on spot, or it will stop on next node. If you're deactivating, it will still move but stop next node, or it will go back to the previous node or the closest node, teleport to node by index. This index 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Go to node by reverse, go to node by index closest node count, and so on. We'll add here more options as well. And you can say to reverse direction each time if it's deactivated. You have switch controls which are informed or called when on state is changed. It will try to change this here as well, as we saw on the main switch controller. The same thing, but the colors are different. You have here preconditions as well, on which precondition to let the on state to be changed. But the main thing are the nodes. We have here a list with the nodes. For example, we have 4 nodes here. We start on the 0, 1. We have coordinates. As I said, I will add more rotation options in the future here. We have advanced settings. We can wait on some node. And we can say after we are waited, we can change the state of switch controllers if you want to. The same as here. If we are waiting on some node, or when we are finished waiting, I will undo. When we reach some node, we can activate or deactivate other scripts. For example, if you remember, I saw that this thing was moving up when the ball was here. This yellow one is a constant rotation script. You can easily make things rotate without stopping directions. Supports preconditions as well. Yeah, back to the node walker. Yeah. So you just need to add here coordinates, and you can create more. For example, I have created a 6 coordinate. Let's make it, I don't know, -5. Yeah, we just created another node. So if I step now here, it will move from here, 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 and then instead of from N3 moving back here, it will move to N4. I can create another one and make it like this, or maybe move up. That's it. You just need to increase some coordinates. It will automatically move this nodes here. We'll undo this. Yeah. For everything else, you can use the documentation. This is version 1 of the documentation. I will add as well more features in the future, so this one will grow as well. Properties are here explained, and so on. Yeah, thanks you for watching. I wish you a good day, and yeah, I hope you create a nice game, hopefully by using the system as well. Thanks, see ya.